Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this is Business Spotlight. Joining me today is Tony Spoletini, a co-founder and co-owner of Spolumbos in Calgary. Thanks, Tony, for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mayor.
Well, let me talk, everybody talks about Spolumbos and, the sausage king, the empire that was built on sausages. Let's talk a little bit about the history. I don't think a lot of people know the history behind how it started. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so Mayor, back in 1991, I was going into my last year with the stamps. My cousin Tom Spoletini, and then a good friend of ours, Mike Palumbo, they had finished the year before, and they were doing some odds and ends jobs. They were helping Tom's father-in-law build the now Villa Forenza, renovate the Villa Forenza back in the winter of I believe 1991 and stuff. And Tom and Mike came up with this idea of creating a high quality Italian sausage, all natural, no binders, fillers, kind of gluten free, a traditional, and then present that to food service, because nobody was really making a premium sausage. And then I proceeded to retire after the 91 season, and ended up joining them. And so we started making the sausage out of the basement of the Villa Forenza, which was owned by Joe and Teresa Tuda, and at that time. And then we just started flogging it to restaurants where we knew some proprietors. And, you get a lot of doors closed, because sausage was always known, Mayor, as the lips, the ears, you name it, right? Because you would use the good cuts, and then whatever was left, you would make sausage. So we wanted to go a different route. We wanted to do like the pork butt, which is the pork shoulder, lean, very. You need a little bit of fat, but very very good cut of meat, right? So your price point is a little higher. You get the door closed on you a few times. And then, you get a few people to buy in. What ended up happening was this little deli in Inglewood opened up in July of 92 for sale, the 9th Avenue Deli. We bought it because it had some old German sausage equipment, which was a step up from the hand crank, right? This was a hydraulic 1960 stuffer that you could put 100 pounds in. And for us, that was like, woo, technology, right? And so we bought this little deli, and we kept the front end to make some extra cash, and that's where the deli side started, Mayor. And so July Stampede Week of 1992, we opened up Spolumbo's Deli a couple blocks west of where we are now in the old Calgary Home Appliance building.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to just go back to the initial day. So you guys were really cranking it like by hand.
Yeah, Bello, like you see that little old stuffer we have at the deli that's on the shelf, that red one that you could put about 30 pounds in. That's what we were using in the basement of the Villa Forenza and stuff. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the, where you are now. When did you move into that building, and why?
Okay, so then basically we needed to either be happy where we were at or expand. And I think we needed to expand because the old place was, if you remember, was getting kind of full. You'd have people squished a lot, So this piece of property where we are now was an old Petro-Canada gas station. Then it was a little grocery store. And then I think, Petro-Canada wanted to get out of the retail business, so they sold it. We ended up buying the land, building a new deli with a federally inspected facility. And so that way we could ship our sausage not only across the country, but if we had the business even, wherever, North America, what have you. So we kind of came to this new location. Mike was in charge of production. Mikey's the guy that comes up with all the great recipes. He runs the production. Tom was doing wholesale sales, and I was kind of like the front guy, marketing guy, dealing with the people, the deli, catering, that sort of thing. So we all had our own areas, Mayor. And that was the August of 1998. So we've been in this location. It's going to be this August, 24 years in this location. 6 in the other. So July 7th of this year, Mayor, will be 30 years.
Oh my.
Yeah, where did it go, man?
You're gonna have a big sausage party?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so, Mayor, and then, we got into the co-ops, we got into the Safeway, we got into food service. We had a lot of loyal restaurants, that were really good to us right from the beginning. Like, no surprise, Nick's, one of the first people to give us a shot, you know what I mean? Lance, at that time, Lance Hurtubise, had the Moxies at that time. He gave us a shot. And then Abruzzo there, Nick Papa, he consistently took a case of sausage every week, and those kind of that loyalty kind of helped you build the base, Mayor.
And over the years too, after that, you also have a smaller shop in Malin Heights, right?
Yes, yeah. So about 4 years ago, a couple of buddies of ours, Frank Mafrica from MathWorks and Joe Ferraro, La Vida Properties and CalBridge Homes, they have their base, where MathWorks and CalBridge and La Vida are based out of. They had a space, and the guy said, hey, why don't we do a little satellite location up here in the Northeast? So, we gave it a shot, Mayor, and unfortunately, it was starting to roll, and then COVID hit, but it still managed to hold its own. So we're gonna, give it a really good shot here to see. We got to give it a fair shake once everything kind of straightens out. But it's going all right up there.
Okay, super. When you look back over the years, Tony, at the success that Spolumbo's has become, what kind of things do you think has contributed to that success? Why have you been so good at what you do?
So I think what happened, Mayor, is that all of us were fortunate enough to have a lot of success in sports. And me personally, I got to play for some amazing people. First of all, my dad's a big hero for me, but I got to play for Gary DeMann and for Peter Canellan. And when you have that kind of leadership in your life, Mayor, and you see how they treat their staff and their people, like they're hard, they're fair, but they're good. You know what I'm saying? And so we all tried to take the teamwork aspect, the playing for each other aspect, how we treat our employees, fair, honestly, what have you, and surrounding yourself with good people into the workforce. And that's been our biggest plus, Mayor. We've had unbelievable staff. Our staff, we've had now over close to 30 years, but probably 4 generations of kids. A lot of them were student athletes. A lot of them, from Spolumbo's graduated onto other jobs or became parents or what have you, and they've been amazing, and they were able to carry our vision forward. And when you've got really great people, Mayor, you can't go wrong. Our people were awesome.
Let me ask you, Tony, I know you and the company have been extremely strong supporters of the community over the years in many different ways, schools, sports, you name it. Tell me why that's been important for you guys as a
growing up in Calgary, Mayor, the mantra of this province and this city especially has always been giving. And again, I go back to sports. When I was a kid, playing soccer or playing my school sports, there was always parents or corporate companies that would always sponsor, getting you being able to get jerseys, or to be able to fund fees, or to get banquets and all that stuff. There was always a lot of generosity in the corporate world for kids sports, and having benefited from that as a child, you want to pass that forward if you're in a position to give back. And that's always been our mandate, that if we were able to do all right, then we wanted to give back to kids sports and to kids charities, because that's what we benefited as youngsters.
The other aspect that I find really interesting about Spolumbo's is the community feel it has when you walk in the doors. I know for myself personally, I walk in and not a day doesn't go by that I don't recognize somebody, or know somebody or talk to somebody, right? And you are, quite honestly, Tony, you were like a real pillar to that in the, especially the early days, because you were always up there shaking the hands, right? They were kind of, you were like a politician kissing the
Yeah. No, but Mayor, and with our culture, the Italian culture, the house was always open. You remember,
Oh yeah.
I watched this skit on Maniscola where he shows, 20 years ago, you're having dinner and they knock on the door and your mom would open it. Hey, it's Kumbani Giovanni. Come on in. I got a lot of extra food, and next thing you know, you double the size of the table. That's what we grew up with. And now, he goes, and now you fast forward to 2020. Ding dong. Hey, it's Kumbani. Okay, quick, shut off the lights. Hide under the table. You know what I mean? No, and I'm exaggerating, but I grew up like yourself with all of us, Mikey and Tommy. We grew up where the house was always open, right? And you always enjoyed company and always enjoyed people, Bello. And I think we just tried to carry that forward with the deli. But again, Mayor, through sports, like I met you through sports and the degrees of separation in the city. And I think our proximity to the Saddle Dome, Bud, and our connection to football, you get the sports people coming in, you get the media coming in, you get your old teammates, your old friends. Now they're all business people, Mayor, and you end up running into a whole bunch of people that and it just creates a really good environment.
Yeah, I want to return a little bit to sports, Tony, because
Sure.
it's obviously been a huge part of your life, a huge part of your success. Tell me the things you learned in sports, the characteristics, the qualities you learned in sports that helped you as a business person.
Well, especially team sports, Mayor, and football, it teaches you that you have to do your job, and you're not going to be successful if the people around you aren't also working together, right? You can't be an individual. You can't act like but you have to work together. You got to respect each other. And you got to respect that I'm doing my job and someone else is doing their job, and you're willing to help. It's the fact of wanting to sacrifice for someone else and that person wanting to sacrifice for you. And then when times get tough, again, that old cliche, the fourth quarter, you rally, you work together and you don't give up.
Yeah. So times have been tough, obviously, for a lot of business owners across the country, here in Calgary over the last 2 years, especially, with the pandemic. What pieces of advice, words of advice would you have, Tony, for other business owners out there that may have been struggling for the past 2 years?
I mean, obviously, you have to make some tough decisions, Mayor. You had to obviously, cut back. I'm sure they did what they needed to do, but I think you again, this city was good in the sense that just keep doing what you're doing. Rely on your network, because your friends, again, what helped us, Mayor, is people like yourself and our network coming in, supporting you through that time. You reinvent yourself, Mayor. You come up with COVID conducive strategies and marketing. If you're doing certain products, you've got to redesign them so that they work with COVID, so that they're, especially in food, Mayor, the whole takeout, the whole, especially in our industry, take home meals, what travels well, what are people going to need that's going to also help them. So I think what it made a lot of businesses do, Mayor, revisit how can we reinvent and adapt to what we're facing now. Yeah. And that hopefully that's going to get us through to when we can get back to normal. And then when you get back to normal, Mayor, you might have another line of business that you thought you never even was there.
All right, super. Well, thanks, Tony, for joining us today. That was excellent.
No, thank you, Bello. Thanks always.
Okay, we'll see you at the shop.
I look forward to it always.
All right, super. That was Tony Spoletini, who is a co-owner and co-founder of Spolumbos in Calgary. This has been Business Spotlight with Mario Toneguzzi. Thanks for joining us today.